This is my what I eat in a day on Slimming World. So I actually bought myself some new Tupperware and I had apple, raspberry, strawberry and Greek yoghurt. I just thought it'd be a bigger bowl to make things a lot easier when I'm taking my breakfast and they're on offer. I've been getting a lot better at taking my supplements recently because I got one of these like day of the week boxes that really helped me to stay on track. Then my husband took my little boy to the cinema and I absolutely blitzed his room. This was the absolute chaos because I pulled everything out from every drawer under the bed and everything went back in and loads of stuff went in the bag for the charity shop. I feel like I should have definitely got some body magic for this because it took me hours of crawling around. For dinner I had this chicken Caesar salad. I used my healthy extra A for some grated cheddar cheese. I didn't have any parmesan this day, and just one sin for a tablespoon of the Asda Light Caesar dressing sauce. For dinner we were still using up some leftovers and I had potatoes, sausages and bacon, so this is what I made. It's just half a sin per sausage for this, so just one sin for both the sausages, and everything else was free or speed with the little Slimming World chips on the side, delicious. I then had two of these bars as my healthy extra B. It feels like a real treat on the night when you can have these and it's part of your plan. Then we sat and watched Reacher, which I think is going to be our New Year sort of show that we're going to watch together. And I had one of these candy canes, which is just 2.5 sins. So I'm ending my day on 4.5 sins, which I'm pretty pleased about, and I'll see you tomorrow. This is my what I eat in a day on Slimming World. This is actually a New Year's Eve edition. So I started off with some apple, strawberry, raspberry and some Greek yoghurt. I got my butt to the gym and I did 30 minutes of cardio followed by some weights and core strength exercises. My gym top that I couldn't wear because it was too tight about 2 months ago is now way too big for me. I thought I was getting away with it until I was doing some planks and realised everyone could see all the way down through it, so can't be wearing that anymore. For lunch, I had this chicken Caesar style salad. I used some free chicken, some carrot and celery for my speed. I used 30 grams of cheddar for my healthy extra A. And I had one sin of this light Caesar dressing, which is actually 2 tablespoons. Everyone always asks me, so I've put it on the screen so you can see which one I get. As I've not been drinking over Christmas and New Year, I wanted to make myself a fancy little drink, so I made these ice cubes before Christmas and I've been enjoying them. It just makes you feel a little bit more fancy. Then I made this butter chicken curry. It was absolutely delicious and it's your version of Slim Kitchen's recipe. I'll try tag it below. So it was just one sin for the curry, which was from the condensed milk that I used. I had one poppadom for 1.5 sins. I had 2 spring rolls, which were 2 sins each. These are the Iceland duck spring rolls. And I had 1.5 sins worth of mango chutney. Then we were watching a family film this night, so this was my little snack. So I had a couple of the Skinny Dream bars for my healthy extra B. I had one of these mint skinny whips, which are 1.5 sins each. And I actually ended up eating 2 of these Christmas baubles, which are 1.5 sins each. So I'm ending the day on 13.5 sins. That's a little higher than I wanted because for stuff that I've got planned at the end of the week, but I'll see you tomorrow. This is my what I eat in a day on Slimming World. So I started off with some apple, raspberry, strawberry and some Greek yoghurt. I was eating this on the go because I wanted to get the maximum amount of time lying as possible because I'm lazy like that. And we went to Whitby for the day. It's our normal New Year's Day tradition. However, we went a little bit earlier than normal and it was a lot busier, so that was our fault. And you know what the seaside means? Fish and chips. So I've seen these from what it says on the apps, 14.5 for the fish and 14 for the chips. That obviously takes me way over my normal daily allowance. So the next few days I'll be trying to keep my sins as limited as possible. However, I couldn't eat them all because I was so full. Then in an attempt to walk these off, we went up the 199 steps up to Whitby Abbey. This is the first time I've actually managed them without stopping. Last time I came in October, I think I had to stop 2 or 3 times. So I was really pleased with myself, a little bit out of breath at the top. However, it was definitely worth it because look at these lovely views over Whitby. Then after a good run around on the beach with the dog, it was time for home again. I'd made the shepherd's pie for tea because I knew that we would probably be getting back a little bit late. I used a healthy extra between some parmesan and milk for the mashed potato and everything else was sin-free. I did have a tiny bit of broccoli on the side as my speed, but there were some carrots in it as well. Then I finished off the day with 2 of these bars as my healthy extra B. I was glad that I had a little bit of chocolate at the end of the day just to keep me going because obviously I didn't want to use any more sins. So I'm finishing off my day on 28.5 sins. I did enjoy the fish and chips when I had them. However, it's probably not worth the guilt that you feel when you've had way more sins than you should have done in a day. So it's not necessarily off plan. I've got the rest of the week to keep my sins low to try and counterbalance it. But I'll see you tomorrow. This is my what I eat in a day on Slimming World. And no, I didn't eat the dog, I was just out walking him early this morning. So I'm just getting myself prepped this morning for work. So every other day I fill up with my frozen berries so that they get a bit of juice in there, which just helps with the Greek yoghurt because it can be a little bit tart sometimes. And I put whatever yoghurt that I had left out of the other tub. This is a new one this morning. So I threw in some chopped up apple and a little bit of extra Greek yoghurt because I didn't quite have enough in there. And voila, it doesn't look pretty, but it really tastes nice with the frozen raspberries in there. So seeing me get all prepped that morning, you'd think I'd know better, right? However, this is what I ended up having for my dinner, almost exactly this way. So I was expecting to be back at my office for a meeting at 12:30. I didn't get there until nearly 2 o'clock, so I ended up eating my dinner on the way there. I literally just ate it as it came, so not necessarily the most glamorous dinner. However, sin-free, lots of speed, which is really good. Sometimes in my work, because I am all over the place all the time, you just have to eat on the go and adapt how you can. After I finished work, I got my butt to the gym. I did 30 minutes of cardio, followed by some weight and core exercises. I did have a different top on today because my other top was getting a bit loose. However, this one's a bit baggy as well. So I think definitely time for a shopping trip. So for tea, I made this mango and lime sticky chicken. This is the most delicious way I've done chicken before. I think it's one of my pinned recipes, but if not, I will pin it. It's out of the latest Slimming World air fryer book. You basically marinate your chicken in yoghurt and grated lime zest. Once it's nearly cooked, you baste it with a little mango chutney and lime juice, like marinade that you make. I actually did it a little bit lighter this time, so usually I use 2 tablespoons of mango chutney, but I actually just use 1, which is 1.5 sins. And then use the lime juice to make it a little bit thinner. It worked really well this time. I also put on the side of this one of the Aldi Mexican rice packs, which is just 1 sin for half the pack, and a load of speed food on the side. This is definitely a favourite in my family. It was just me and my husband tonight, and he really likes this dish as well. I had 2 of these bars for my healthy extra B, and then we had some melon that needed using up. I actually thought it was speed food, but it was free, but that was absolutely fine. It was just like the most delicious ripeness, so it was a good little snack to have at the end of the night. So I'm ending my day on 2 sins, which I'm really pleased about. I'm trying to pull it back a little bit from the fish and chips that I had the other day, but I'm feeling full. I've had lots of variety today, and I'm pretty happy with that. So I'll see you tomorrow. This is my what I eat in a day on Slim World. So I started off with an omelette. I had 3 eggs, 40 grams of cheddar, which I weighed out, and I did a really cool omelette flip and forgot to film it, or I wasn't pressing record. I put a bit of salt and pepper and some onion powder to that, and delicious omelette. I had that with some bacon on the side, and I trimmed all the fat off it before I cooked it. I actually had this relatively late. It was probably about 10:30 when I was eating it. I then got busy with an absolutely massive project. So I was sorting through all my old clothes, seeing what would and wouldn't fit me on the skinny pile, as I like to call it, which is a couple of big bags worth of clothes. I then went through the stuff that's now too big for me as well and got some of that on Vinted. I also went through some of the clothes that are now too big for me and stuck them on Vinted. So a good day overall. However, I've still got a lot of this to sort through. Because I got caught up in this task and I wasn't hungry, I just had an apple chopped up. We'll call that a lunch-ish. Then it was lasagna soup for dinner. This is the one that I cooked before Christmas, and I had absolutely oodles of portions of it. I actually put this in the freezer with just like the mince base and the tomato sauce, and then added the lasagna sheets to it when I reheated it today. And I feel like this got better in the process, whether it's just because everything had time to marinate a little bit, I'm not sure, but really delicious tonight. I also had that with one of the hash brown waffles, which are just 1 cent each. I had a bit of a debate with myself afterwards whether I should have had some speed food. I didn't actually feel that hungry this night, so adding speed food, I would have probably eaten a bit less of the pasta and saucy sort of side of it. However, it didn't feel like an excessive meal, and I was comfortably full afterwards, so I just left it as it was. And I used one of my healthy extra A between the parmesan and the mozzarella that goes in the sauce. I then had 2 of these bars as my healthy extra B, and that was it for the day. So I'm ending the day on just 1 sin, which I'm feeling pretty happy about. I've had lots of variety, I was feeling very full, and I was happy with what I'd eaten throughout the day. I don't usually manage my sins on like a weekly basis. I know some people do, like I've got this many sins and I can use them flexibly over the week. I usually just use them daily, and whatever I haven't used, just it gets discarded. However, when you are wanting to have something and you're not wanting to go off plan, sometimes this is probably the best way to do it. So this is my what I eat in a day on Slimming World. So start off by getting my bag all packed and ready for work. Thursday is one of my busiest days because I have a mixture of a lot of different things going on. So made sure that my salad was all packed and ready, and I have to get them ice packs in there because I'm not usually near where there's going to be a fridge all day. And a lot of the time I do have a few little different tubs because I don't like it when everything's all smashed together when it comes to dinner time. I like to do that myself. I'd weighed out my cheese beforehand and I'd made most of this last night. It all just needed assembling and putting in the bag ready for work. So this was my breakfast that I had this morning, which was apple, raspberry, strawberry and Greek yoghurt. It's a zero fat Greek yoghurt that's a lot thicker and a lot higher in protein than Greek style yoghurt. I think this was just me showing that I do weigh absolutely everything. Even though I'm 4 months in, I still make sure that I'm getting everything weighed so that I'm not going over, especially on like my healthy extra A's. I actually ate my breakfast during a meeting, so I didn't want to take a picture of it this morning. So life of community staff, I'm actually sat about to have my dinner in the car. I always have some utensils spare in the car just in case. And I have some spares as well, but I hate eating with wooden fork. So I'm sat, I've got some lovely roadworks as my view for the lunch. And so I've got some turkey. I've actually got egg in there, which I'll cut open in a minute. And I've got some Caesar dressing. There should be 2 tablespoons in there, which is 1 sin of the light Asda Caesar dressing, and just a little bit of chopped salad. And then I weighed out, it was actually 15 grams of parmesan because 30 would have been way too much for this sort of salad. So 15 grams of parmesan, which is half of my healthy extra A. So that's my little dinner. So what I've done is I've poured on my dressing and my parmesan cheese, and then I'm going to do what I've realised is called the Kardashian shake, which is you put your lid on and give everything a really good toss around. I don't really watch Kardashians, but they're clearly very smart women, because if you've only got a little bit of dressing, if you're trying to keep your calories low but you just like a little bit of dressing on your salad, doing it that way just means everything comes into contact with it. You're giving it a little toss around and you don't have to use loads and loads like if you squirt it over the top. So little tip for the day, apparently the Kardashians are smart women. There you go. This is just me showing off that everything's looking too big for me. This is what I'd bought when I was already losing a little bit of weight. And then I did 35 minutes on the treadmill and I actually increased my running this day. I'm thinking about doing the Couch to Eras tour. I'll see if I can tag it down below. Very sweaty mess. So weighing everything again, this was my healthy extra cheese that I was going to be having for tea, and I weighed it. So I had half a packet of the Aldi Mexican rice, that's for 1 sin. I had some carrot and celery on the side, and then I'd made a mixture of some chicken, onions and sweet corn with a little bit of like cumin, paprika, a little tiny bit of chilli, and I had some cheese on top of there. So the chicken was sin-free and really delicious meal, just what I fancied. I didn't know what I was going to cook when I went into the kitchen. Then I ended the night with 2 of these bars as my healthy extra B. You do have to check your bars because some of them you can only have 1 as a healthy extra B, or they're not a healthy extra B at all. So definitely check your bars if you're going to have them. So I'm ending my day on just 2 sins, which I'm pretty pleased about, and I'll see you tomorrow.